So they'll be calling you. I want to get back to this. So this is a national treasure, this piece right here. And I'm sure as they work down, all the way down Ogden Canyon, all the way to their, when they got here, they'd been saving pieces. They'd been saving stones because it was right here on Washington Boulevard. And I think they saved their crowning jewel work. Right here, remember when this green granite used to be all over Safeway on 24th Monroe, and they just, he called me, he says, you want to put 10,000 plaster over that rock? I says, that's a multi-million-dollar rock job. I'm not putting 10,000, I won't do it. He got somebody to do it. Then they tore it down and threw it in the fucking dump. So I think as they work, the WPA workers, the hundreds of them, all the way down this canyon for years doing this incredible stone. I think they got here and they saved these for their crowning jewel. This is a national treasure right here. I mean, it blows. I was a mason for all those years, decades and decades, including the tree in the Children's Museum. I built that out of laughing plants, including the Masonic. I mean, I have hundreds of them all over. Oh, I know. So, Michelangelo, the great activist artist, you know, probably the greatest in history. He was asked, well, you know, and there were nudes he painted. And the Pope came in, the Pope died. And the new Pope hired his own friends to paint over him. You know, the diaper paint. I call them the panty painters. But, well, you're a great painter, but, and he didn't lay on his back either. He has sketchbooks where he sketched himself standing. You may not be the greatest painter in Florence or in the world, but there's no doubt you're the greatest sculptor in history. And he was the activist. Remember, he had to hide underneath the church. I got to go in that church bunker for all those years. 88, holy Moses. I saw the Leopata. The first time I saw it, I literally started to cry. I never seen it. I mean, usually when you see artwork and you see it and you're like, it doesn't meet your expectations. You look better in a book. His second Leopata, it's at the Duomo where Michelangelo, well, what his sculpture of David is. David's huge, by the way. The second one where he broke the arm off, he kicked it over. He did it by candlelight. He hid for decades. He sold it. He got it. I mean, it's never finished. It's his best. Remember he said he found the perfect stone when he was young. He says, there is no perfect. There's no perfect. The great activist artist. He took on the church. This is Easter Sunday. Took on. He was accused of heresy over and over and over, wanting him dead. Well, why are you the great? You're probably the greatest sculptor who ever lived, which there's no doubt in my mind he still is. His answer? My wet nurse came from a family of Masons. Let's flip this cam. This is a national treasure, this piece right here. Because this is, look, Mariner Eccles had the keys to the WPA. He had the keys to it. So, they got all the money. And all the great work here, Ogden High. So, and nobody knows what it is. Oh, I know what it is. I did all the restoration of it down there on it. It's flooded here multiple times, and it's held up. Its integrity. So, you know, somebody's got to document it and preserve these masters, the Ogden artisans. And they tore down the old artisan shops to build the Newgate Mall, but then they to build the Ogden Mall. And then they tore down the Ogden Mall to build that piece of shit. That's what they do with everything. That 29 on Washington Boulevard alone, including that right there, those mosaics, they're painted over my work. You know, they're all over. Those are mine. I didn't paint those. Alwood painted those. I love that piece. But all the plaster work underneath is mine, including the Monarch. That's my oath. I did those 30, 40, 50 years ago. But this thing's a national treasure. You don't even have a clue what it is. They'll paint over masonry here.
You lost it, didn't you?
What'd he lose?
Oh, just he was following some branches and stuff.
Oh, just looking at him. Yeah, it's moving fast.
Yeah.
So, this thing is a freaking national treasure. My house, I picked the brick out, you know, reclaimed brick when we did over here. I got to tell this story. when in 1978, 79, when they tore down the old buildings all over to build the Ogden Mall. By the way, Mike Wakely, who I grew up with, the great Mason, has passed away of cancer recently. He was incredible. He did those brick pavers along the sidewalk. We would go in and restack brick, clean it, chisel it, brick it. Those houses all up in Shadow Valley, that's where that brick came from. We reclaim brick. So I have reclaimed brick and stone that I saved. It's in my house. You can see the fingerprints. You can see the handprints. You can see a paw print from a dog, and this brick is old, really old. And I'll have to get some videos of my fireplace. It's a masterpiece, and you can see it. They're adobe. So, came from the old brewery. The reclaimed brick I have on, it's adobe. We did adobe right there in my grandpa's pit, Abraham Hunt. That tile, them tile roofs, it's adobe. Then they had the great brickyards here. Some of the greatest brick work. You used to stand up on top of the end, all you see is beautiful red brick work all over. Gone. Just tearing it fucking down. Just for the sake of tearing it down. All that restoration brickwork up and down, that's all me, And I put it back to make it look like the artisan had not been touched. I should have never covered up or anything. So the great activist artist on this Jesus Resurrection Day. So I'm going to do a piece about that right now, but this belongs, it's a national heirloom. I'm sure when they worked all the way down this river, all that painstaking, incredible work, these walls that went all the way up on Canyon, they tore out when we offered to restore them for free all those years ago. I'm sure when they got here at the end is where they ended this project. They built this. They saved their right rocks for it. There's no doubt in my mind. Look at these pieces. They're like, oh, we're saving that one. Look at this piece. Look at this piece of stone. Oh, look at this one. Are you kidding me? I says, well, this was their crowning jewel, their monument to their hard work. And I know how Masons work. That's what they do. I'm so proud of their work. Yeah, that's all my plaster work. I have them all over. Joel painted those. I love those, by the way. He did a hell of a job. When they brought in the artists to have Tan, Joe McQueen, and Parrots, and he's great, but he's from Puerto Rico. He ain't from, I know young Eisenhower. He did the faces over there on 25th. Master. There's plenty of great young artists here as far as murals. I've been wanting to do some giant frescoes here, but nobody will give me a wall. There's plenty of good muralist artists, but they need the plaster. They need the true Mason. You're looking at him. Last of the Mohicans. Stay tuned.